Oh, Pigsy, Pigsy, Bo Bigsy, Banana, Fana, Fo Figsy, Fee, Fi, Fo, Fee, Fi, Mo, Migsy, Pigsy! La la la. Hey, gang. Bang. Gang bang. Do you know what I hate? The old Ewan would have gone, the Jews! But I'm new Ewan. I don't go for that anymore. Do you know what I hate? I hate all YouTubers. I hate the whole everyone. Every YouTube video starts exactly the fucking same. It's all, hey gang, what's up, penis crew? It's your boy, Penis Perseverus. Today, we're gonna check out this cool happening fucking thing. Listen to me talk about something that someone already did instead of making content myself. Oh, before we get into it, here's a word from our sponsors. Check out fucking Raycon or Squarespace or Manscaped or Boo. So anyway, let's get back on track to our story. Here's 10 minutes of absolute fucking waffle that vaguely touches on the subject of what we're talking about in this video, and then I'll wrap it up at the end with a few minutes of information you might actually want to know. But don't skip ahead, because I need the views to count, so please watch everything. Watch all the fucking adverts and stuff, because that's how I pay my bills. Every fucking one is the same. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube recently just because, if I'm like eating or whatever, it's just short videos to watch while I eat in between drawing and stuff. And I swear I skip the first 5 minutes of every single video because they're all the fucking same. And it's all annoying enough, but one of the main thing that things that bug me is just the fucking hey gang, and they have like a name for their crew. I can't think of any examples, but they're all just shit. They're like, hey, what's up, fucking gamers? What's up, nerd farts? Hey, what's happening, juice boxes? It's your boy, the big juice carton, Apple Man, the juicer, the juice meister, not Jews meister. I'm not doing the Jews thing anymore. Not that I don't want to come across as anti-Semitic, but it's just, in a simpler time, just saying the word Jews was, kind of funny. Like, it's funny to just go, oh, what's you, and you don't look well, what's wrong? And you can just go, oh, the Jews. Oh, that's funny, Ewan. That was unexpected, a bit mean, but I understand you mean it in a comedic way. That's funny, Ewan. That's funny. But really, it's like, I need to grow up. That's something. I was going to do a whole shit. Should I leave that? Yeah, maybe I'll leave that for another time. I got told to grow up by several people, actually. I had one particular person commented on an Instagram post that I should grow up, and I posted the same picture on Twitter, and they felt the need to comment the exact same thing on the same picture on Twitter as well as Instagram. Grow up. Because it was a drawing of a bum, and the caption was like bum bum bummety bum or something, and they seemed very determined to let me know that they thought I should grow up. But within a couple of days previous, I had someone say, oh, I really like your videos and stuff, but I think if you use nicer language, you might get a better audience, and your videos might get out there a bit more. And then a few days after the person said grow up, I had a message from a whole other person saying effectively the same thing, that it's a bit not amateur, a bit juvenile. Your humour and stuff, like maybe you could be a bit more serious. So maybe I need to grow up. Maybe I need to become the adult I never was. But, being in the state of arrested development I'm in, owing to, life experiences and traumas and stuff, I've never really grown out of being a child, because whenever I get scared and panicky and anxiety and stuff, it makes me genuinely feel like a 7-year-old boy. I hadn't planned on talking about any of this. I was going to talk about fucking Pigsy. Oh, he's fun, isn't he? Big fat man wearing a pig's head instead of his head, and he's all like horrifically mentally disturbed and a cannibal, and Manhunt. We all like Manhunt, don't we? We like hunting the most dangerous game of all, man. Oh, we like hunting men. Oh yeah, I like a nice man, a nice big sweaty grizzly man. Oh, we like men, don't we, guys? Yeah, we all like men. We fucking love them. Oh god, I'll eat a whole man. I'll eat a man whole. I'll eat a man's whole. I will eat the anus of a man. Pigsy's fun. I just thought he'd be fun to draw. I was watching a few videos of people just talking about Manhunt. Again, I was on YouTube. I was just looking up stuff, and then it happened out of nowhere. A video was recommended that was something. Looking back at Manhunt, whatever, and I was like, oh, hey, cool. I like Manhunt. I think it's, grim and dark and dirty feeling. I like that. Let's look at that video. And it was a good video. So, guy talking about it seemed to know what he was talking about, and, and that got me into a little bit of a loop of, yeah, I really do. I miss Manhunt. I use the music every now and again for videos, because it's very sort of dark, moody music, and that's the sort of vibe I like to create for certain things. So it's not like I've completely forgot about Manhunt until now, but it's just, I guess I'm just in a little bit of on a bit of a Manhunt tip at the moment, and I was like, well, do you know what would be cool? Do you know what would be cool? If I did a Pigsy drawing, a nice, cool Pigsy drawing. People like that. People like pigs. People like Z. Throw them together and you got Pigsy. But yeah, Pigsy is a cool character, isn't he? He's vaguely original, somewhat original. The concept isn't wholly original. There's various pieces of media, games, movies and such that have used the pig's head as a thing. But yeah, and the whole, obviously, the chainsaw wielding maniac is not that original. But he's as far as like characters to come across in a not really a horror game, but whatever, a horror-ish video game. He's a good one. I enjoy Pigsy as for what he is. I like him. And I suddenly, out of nowhere, had a whole bunch of ideas of like different kinds of Pigsy drawings I could do. I look like a fairly standard, just a look at Pigsy being Pigsy with his chainsaw and all. And his big dick should be hanging down maybe about here. And I love that they put that in the game as well. I looked up, I did a Google image search for Pigsy just so I could get an idea of what it is I'm bloody doing, as I tend to do with most things. And I saw some, I guess it's all, I hope it's all fan art. Some of them drew him with like a big sort of apron or a loincloth or something covering his parts. But I love that they didn't do that in the game. And I think it does a disservice to the character or whatever by giving him a loin. Like, fair enough, if you're not that way inclined and you don't want to draw Pigsy's big swinging cock, fair enough, I get it, but that's part of the whole. He's just a big fucking weird horrible naked man, and him having his willy out is part of that. And so I love the fact that in the game they put that in. They have his fucking swinging wang in the game. I think it's a good part of the game. So I thought that would be cool. Maybe I'll do a painting. And also, well, I thought was a funny idea. Do you remember this? This is fun, wasn't it? Of doing like this. Like, I'm not going to be able to draw it from memory, but this is Vault Boy. You know, Vault Boy being Vault Boy. Whatevs. Of doing a drawing in the style of that, but of Pigsy. So he's like in his bandages. I don't know exactly where to put his hands. I will work on the drawing if I'm going to do it. One eye there, and I like that. Like he's got an eyeball in that one eye and not in the other. And of course, include his wang. You've got to have the willy in there, the donger, the prick, the penis, the meat bat. Yeah, I just thought it'd be funny, just a funny image of Pigsy, but in the Vault Boy style. Or maybe like I could do a Vault Boy running away from Pigsy. Or maybe I could do James L. Cash, which is a really funny name. See, it's like James L. Jones and Johnny Cash. James L. Cash. I could do a James L. Cash in the style of Vault Boy. He doesn't have a beard, he has stubble. And he looks somewhat Asian as well. Maybe he's like Cuban or something. Does he have a scar like there or something? I don't know. Yeah, I could do that in Vault Boy style and it would be funny. I thought that'd be neat. And then I thought, oh, what if I do like a Peppa Pig version? So like, what's Peppa Pig like this? One eyeball and then the one not eyeball. And blood dripping and whatever. Like that, you know, and then with a chainsaw and all. That'd be quite funny, wouldn't it? To do like a Peppa Pig. Then I remembered I have all these fucking Peppa Pig storybooks, and you probably have seen by now on my Instagram. I painted over them. Oh look, that's supposed to be a worm there, but like she finds a pig's head, and that's just painted with acrylics, just straight onto the pages of the book. And then she's like going after this fox, and they're all chanting "kill, kill, kill." I've painted over the actual words, but it's like Peppa found the Pigsy mask, or the pig's head rather, and just put it on, and then there's a bunch of other shit happens. She's got the fox, and there's this big hole was already in the book. I think the fox is pointing to something in the hole, but instead Peppa in the Pigsy head is saying, "Get in the fucking hole, cunt." And then I didn't do anything here, but I don't know. Carrot soup, cheer Peppa, Freddy, and all their friends. Yummy. Oh, carrot soup, cheer Peppa, Freddy, and all their friends. Yummy. It's person soup. There's people in. I've got another book from that series that I plan to maybe not paint over, but certainly show in a video, because it's, well, I won't give too many spoilers away, but the book is Peppa and the gang go to the zoo, and they are animals, and the zoo is full of animals, which is just a bit weird. So I'm going to show that off in a video at some point, which I meant to do fucking years ago when I got these dumb storybooks, but you know, life catches up with you, or keeps on top of you, or fucking bones you in the asshole, doesn't it? Body hair, does whatever a body scare. Oh no, body hair, shave it off. Don't look there. Oh no, thousands of body hair. Why did the chains go in the wrong way? Buzz. I want to do, hopefully I'll have time when I'm working on books and things, hopefully they'll bring in enough money that I'll have time to do some of my own artwork, which is one thing I've really disliked of the past sort of year or so, is I've not been that happy with almost anything I've done really, art-wise. A few things here and there, but because it's mostly commissions and I have to, produce work to, I don't know, it's just, I've not been entirely happy with most things I've created over the past year or so. Bar a couple of things, like I just fucking said, repeat myself. So I'm hoping to have time, if my books that I'm putting out, that I will put out, sell well enough, that will give me time to work on some of my own things. Because I want to do like a really cool painting of like Leatherface. And then maybe like a series, like a few Leatherface pieces, a Pigsy piece, some other shit, I don't know. Just cool stuff. Obviously Gun Viking or whatever, Or maybe I should have Gun Viking versus Pigsy. Maybe that would be a cool thing. Maybe it wouldn't be. The problem with doing anything like that is like Gun Viking has guns and he's, not literally, but basically immortal. I've given him loads of weird powers that like he maybe shouldn't have, because it means he just basically can't die. But yeah. So if I was going to put him against someone like Pigsy, it's like Pigsy can run at him with a chainsaw, but then Gun Viking just put out a fucking Tech 9 and pump him full of lead and cock. Gun Viking is still a gay icon, by the way. Well, maybe not an icon, but he certainly is. I don't know, maybe he's asexual. Maybe he just... sex isn't a thing in his life. It's not a part of his life. Maybe I'm projecting. Yeah, that has been a concern with the Gun Viking comic as well, of like making him too overpowered. And there's various times that's been an issue in the comic, but it's one of those things that it's just... I guess that's one reason I don't really like fan fiction, is because it takes it out of the context of the story. Like, it can be cool to go like, oh, what if we explored this aspect of the story that wasn't really given much time? And then they take that and run with it. But then you get people just adding in their own canon and lore and stuff, and it just becomes something else. Whereas for me personally, because I'm boring, media stops when the media stops. So the characters in a film, basically for me, don't exist outside of the film. So you can say, oh, I wonder what happened then. Like, did the characters go off and do this, that, or the other? Like, well, no, they didn't, because then the movie turned off and they stopped existing. Because the movie is the world that those characters inhabit. And when the movie stops existing, those characters no longer exist. So that's the world is the context of everything that in the film. The film is the context of everything that happens. And similarly, or exactly the same with comics, and for instance, Gun Viking, is once you close the book, the character doesn't exist anymore. So in that respect, it's if something silly happens, if he's like too overpowered, it's more, rather than just be like, well, that doesn't really make sense because he had this power here but he didn't use it here, or how come this person could kill him but this person couldn't, or whatever. It's like, it's just a small part of the story that I used to tell the larger story. It has a start point and an end point, and there's no, maybe I'm just not a good enough writer. It'd be nice to have, a consistent story, consistent powers and consistency of any kind. But the whole point of Gun Viking is that it's not consistent. That's why he has different guns show up out of nowhere. He doesn't have fucking pockets or a bag to keep them anywhere. It's just a fucking comic, innit? There's me talking about, oh, that's why fanfiction sucks, because, you know, the context just is, once the film's over, they stop existing. Do what you want. I'm not saying you shouldn't have fan. I'm just saying Pigsy is really fun, and I like it. Oh, shit, son. What a good dickle. If you are into graffiti, then chances are you know this book. You know this book back to front. It's quite the fucking famous book. I hate the term, oh, it's the Bible of whatever, but this is basically the Bible of the early days of graffiti. Like, if you were getting into graffiti, you had this book. Nowadays, you probably, like it used to be, you get this book and spray can art, and then a handful of different kind of magazines, and then it moved on to like follow this blog and this blog and this Flickr and this Flickr. They're like the big ones to keep your eyes on for graffiti. And nowadays, it's probably just follow these people on Instagram, because Instagram seems to be the sort of the way it goes. But this was so fucking huge for graffiti. 1984 originally, documenting basically the origins of graffiti as we know it today. Obviously, graffiti started with the ancient Egyptians, and even before that, cave people drawing on the walls. Yeah, but graffiti as it's known today, graffiti, the lettering and styles and stuff, started on the subways in New York, basically. I'm not giving a graffiti lesson. I'm just talking about this book and for being, you know, how fucking important it was to showcase what was happening to a wider audience, and what some of the people were doing. And even now, these are some of the very first graffiti styles, and letters in these kinds of shapes are still used today, because they were like that fucking important. Some of them, you know, not so great artistically, but at the same time, if you think this train was in a layup and someone went to it at fucking 2 a.m. to cover the entire train car in paint, and if you stand at a train car, you know, that's like 6-7 feet just from the tip to the door, probably maybe closer to 6.5-7 feet, and then, you know, trains are fucking big, and if you think of one person painting the whole fucking train car in a night, like that's a lot. And yeah, some of the history of the thing, it does go beyond just the train cars, but the train cars were like where people really sort of started noticing it, and then it became a thing. Bode, Baudet, I don't know how it's fucking pronounced. Some cool photos, like that's just a cool picture in and of itself. But graffiti is something like, I find it personally, I'm glad I know as much about graffiti as I do, and that I've spent time in graffiti doing it and taking part, because on a lot of YouTube videos, you know, if it's someone talking about some shit, like if they're at an industrial estate or whatever, talking about something about the estate, you can see graffiti in the background. If you know about graffiti, you go, oh, that's this person, or that's this name at least, you know, even if you don't know of them, you go, hey, look at the graffiti in the background, because it's everywhere. But then you sort of, you get into it, you learn about it, where it comes from. And these fucking pages, man, this was the shit that made me go like, whoa, I want to be a graffiti writer based on like these fucking pages. So at school, when I was like 13 years old, my friend had this book. He was in maths, I think, and he had this book. And I like saw him looking through it, and I saw these pages, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck is that? And I was amazed straight away. For one thing, anytime I see any film or show that has a character that's an artist, and you see their sketchbooks and stuff, and I know they're not obviously all the books and sketches were made for the film, but just seeing someone in a piece of media be an artist and they've got sketchbooks and you see stuff like this, I'm instantly hooked. I'm like, cool, let me see their sketchbooks, let me see their walls, their pockets, let me see how they live as an artist, what they're like as an artist. And this was almost the precursor to all of that, of seeing, you see all of this and you're like, yeah, okay, it's some paintings on trains, whatever. But this is where you see they're people. They sit around in a room, they're drawing their pieces, they're looking at photos of paintings, music going, they're just hanging out. And it's cool. All their paint, most of which, if not all of, is stolen. Working on stuff, handfuls of caps taken from all kinds of household products and whatever they can get to get different widths and kinds of sprays. Keys for fucking, acquired master keys to all the trains, and then they're duplicated and sold or traded to other writers. So you get hold of keys to like train yards and trains and, whatever, and you swap them with other writers to get into the yards, into the layups to paint. Sketchbooks, or black books as they're known, outlined for Too Many Piece by Dondi. Dondi being one of the big ones at the time. You'll see some more of him later on. And it's cool to see like the sketch and then how it came out in actual painting. And there. These 2 pages like blew my stupid young mind. And there's Dondi, the man, the myth, the legend. Literally like one of the biggest names in graffiti ever. But yeah, so then my friend had this book. He got it from the school library, and I was like, what the fuck? That's in the... Why is this book in our library? So I got the book and I stole it. I didn't check it out. I went to the library. I went to the library, got this book, sat down, did some drawings, and then when it came time to go, I closed it up, had my notebooks and sketchbooks on top of that, put it in my bag, and it was mine, all mine. And then I think I had it in another class and a friend stole it back off of me like years later or something because it went missing. So this was a store-bought one, sadly, but I was feeling it for the original. I stole it because I knew if I booked it out properly from the library, I'd have to give it back. And if I didn't give it back, there'd be a record of me having it and not having given it back. But if I stole it, then it just goes down as missing or stolen. No one knows I did it, and then it's all fucking good. But yeah, Dondi was known for doing this shit. And I can't speak for everyone, but I'm pretty sure everybody at some point, every graffiti writer has done a version of this. Their own name in this style, or their own name, own style in this colourway with these characters. Everyone's done like a parody of this Dondi piece because it's so like fucking... It's so spot on. It hits so many points of graffiti from that time, and it's such a perfect example of back in the day graffiti, 1980. And the letters, those sorts of shapes are still used. Like I said, the cracks, the little gubbins, little blobs and blocks within the thing, and the backgrounds, all of that stuff is still used today in various, different evolved means and stuff, and similar characters, again taken from Vaughn Bode comics. It's amazing, man. Scheme. Yeah, this book is almost a perfect insight into the world of graffiti. And I mean, I want to say I'd love to see a book like this now, but you almost can't make one because there's too much out there. There are so many books about graffiti. I've got a shitload. But like, it's almost impossible to have a book about just graffiti. Like, obviously, this is from New York, and there is books to this day of new like graffiti in New York and LA and all over America, all over Europe, all over the world. But that's almost why you can't make a book like this these days, is because it's blown up from this point. It's everywhere now. Which I guess it makes sense that rather than have individual or like books comprising all of graffiti, it makes more sense almost to have them based on individual artists. Maybe, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying words, whatever. Scene, another absolute legend, possibly even more well known than Dondi, and did so fucking much quick as a big one. Daresy Dares and the Casey Case. If you've seen the film, if you're into this sort of thing and you haven't already, watch the film or movie Subway Style Wars. That's the one. Fucking style. So this is Subway Art, the book. Style Wars is the it's like a documentary version of this book. Basically, it's really really good. Hand of Doom, fold out piece by Scene the Man. Blade. I mean, this is another one where it's like it's cool that he did that, but I'm really not feeling the style and whatever. Like if something like that was painted today on a wall or something, you'd be like, really? I'm sure it was great for the time. And then this Dundee piece is really cool. His hand style was so good as well. Like that's almost a stereotypical graffiti hand style. But it's the same shapes, the little stars, the N, the shape of that N, the D, the size of that A, the underline, that's all still used today. And these were the first people doing it. Pretty much, give or take. That's a really cool picture. Lady Pink was a big one. Futura, he's big these days. Still, I guess. Zephyr. And like a lot of the artists in this book went on to, Scene. Bless him, he's having health problems at the moment. He's still doing art things, and a lot of them are. Some of them have passed away. It's Case. He's only got one arm, and he does shit like this. That's a Case piece. Does crazy wild styles. And he's only got one arm. Which is impressive. Blockbusters. Top to bottom blockbuster. Whole cars, man. People still do that these days. It's insane. Scene and Mitch. Day's Trap. That Scene piece is pretty great. Yeah, just looking through this book when I was 13, 14 years old, I was just astounded by it all. I go through this book again and again and again, copying all the pieces. This is so nice. This dust piece, I'm pretty sure that's exactly where Kaws, Kaws, that guy with the characters, I'm pretty sure that's where he stole his style from, because he did graffiti before he did all the characters and stuff, and his style is almost identical to that, with the letters like joining each other and then going past each other. But that's what I'd do. I'd copy these pieces in sketchbooks, copy all the colours, the characters, and that's how you learn. You copy and copy and copy until I can do it myself, and then I start doing my own pieces. Characters. Pink Panther was a big popular one. All the Vaughn Bode characters. Dedications. Blade and Dolores writing his girlfriend's name. Duster and Lizzie. People still do that today. You put up a girl's name and they go all gooey for it. Like, oh my God, he wrote my name on the wall. That's so amazing. People shouting out their moms. Lee was a big one as well. He was in the film Wild Style. That was another big popular one. See, Style Wars was like a documentary, and then Wild Style was like a dramatization thing about this kid who was a graffiti writer, and nobody believed in him, and then he came up and did his shit. That's a good one. Really good shapes of the letters and colours and stuff. Really, really cool. Fucking police. The opposition, yeah. Stop real crime. Exactly. Go and stop real crime. You still say the same shit today. Fuckers, man. Absolute fuckers. And those are the people who put it together, the photographers, photojournalists. And they're still known today, Martha Cooper and Henry Chalfant. They're big in the game, and they have been since back then. But yeah, man, that's some genuine like history of graffiti, and personally for me in terms of art and graffiti. Graffiti influences my art still today, and a lot of it comes from right fucking here. That hurt a bit actually. These days and times, that's how we get on with rhymes. To my metal Facebook, that's MF Doom. These days, I don't tend to like to reminisce too much about, the past, the good old days. Like, I remember when this and the thing, and I could, if only I would. Because I feel, especially in my, my usual state of mind, it tends to just breed sort of negative thoughts and, negative self images and such. Just makes me think ill of myself, of like, I wish things were the way they used to be, when life was simpler and. But recently, I can't stop thinking about how I could have been like a basketball player. Like that could be the thing I'm known for. Not that I'd necessarily be famous, but like I was really fucking good at basketball, man. I know I've mentioned it before, like I enjoyed playing and I was good. And let's get this out of the way now. I'll probably use the word ball handling quite a bit talking about it. So, get your laughs out of the way now, you and ball hand, yeah. But we're not going to laugh about that because that would be immature, and this is the new grown-up Ewan. So, get used to that shit. I've spoken about that before. I was good with the ball handling and just good in general. Like, I fucking loved basketball, man. Because I was okay at skateboarding, but I was too like timid and afraid to do anything really big, to like do anything serious on ramps or jump down stairs and shit. And so I never really gave it much time, and it was never going to be something I like do as a profession or whatever. It was just fuck around for a bit of fun. Drawing was obviously just always there. I still would love to, and certainly wanted to, be an actor. Try not to laugh, but but you have to, you don't have to, but chances are really you need to go to like a drama school and be involved in that kind of world with those kinds of people. And outside of, it tends to be money is a thing. There's very few working class actors. It's a very much a rich person's club, and then they award themselves for being brilliant because they're fucking brilliant. And that it's just never, being around those sorts of people. And I always thought basketball, like I was so good, man, because the whole ball handling thing was one thing. I was just good at that. But I got really good at fucking getting the ball in the hoop. And I didn't have a hoop outside my house, but I got like a hubcap ring and tied it to a railing above a wall that was like, 8 or 9 feet up or whatever. And I got really good at getting the ball in the hole. And then when we did play at school, I was really good. And I've mentioned before, the PE teacher even said, "Ewan, you're really good at basketball. you should join the basketball team. And the main reason I didn't was because the basketball team consisted of like the popular kids, of which I was very much not one. I didn't fit in with those people. They wouldn't have wanted me on the team unless I like became one of them. But I was just, again, just timid and afraid, I guess. Maybe I was just afraid that I wouldn't be accepted, and I let that pass me by because I figured, what's the point? What's the fucking point in it all? But I think back now of like, what if I just said fuck it and I joined the basketball team? And then, you know, we play some like school games, school tournaments and stuff, because the team went on to play, you know, nothing huge, but yeah, there were basketball tournaments here and there throughout the counties and things that they were a part of. I think they won a few games. They'd have won a lot more if I was on the team, I'll tell you that. And then outside of that, I could have ended up doing basketball at college, university, and maybe like gone somewhere with it, done something, like actually be known, like join a local actual team. Because again, I was really fucking good. I could keep the ball when I got it. Stop people getting the ball off of me. I could shoot. I was a team player, so I was happy to pass the ball. I wouldn't hog it as much as I wanted to show off my sweet ball handling skills. We're not laughing at that, shut up. But again, just being sort of timid and stuff and not doing it. I'd have been in really good shape. You know, physically, I'd have been kept in good shape because I'd be running around all the time. So I wouldn't even have to worry about exercise because like my whole life would be exercising because I'd be playing basketball all the fucking time. I just think my life could be so different. Like I probably wouldn't, chances are I probably wouldn't be playing basketball for a living. But at the same time, you never fucking know. Like I could have gone on to do shit. And then, because I would have still, you know, always drawn and painted all the time. And then I'd be known as like, oh, Ewan plays basketball. Did you know he also fucking like draws and paints and shit? And then, of course, you can think in the opposite way. Well, if I'd done that, maybe I wouldn't be as involved with art and I wouldn't have, you know, the following I've got now in terms of art, the friends and, you know, meeting some of my artistic heroes and such. That wouldn't have happened. And that's the problem, is that you can think all of these things, but ultimately you can go, well, there's literally no way to know. You could have stuck with basketball and it could have just not worked out. And then you could have spent too much time on that and not enough time on other things and been lost and you know, not been anywhere and just been fucking sitting around going, oh, I wish I'd fucking focused on art. I wish I'd done something else. Because that could happen. I could have become a basketball player and do that full time, be really fucking good at it, win awards, win all the games, all the awards, all the accolades, and then sit in the fucking changing rooms one day thinking, oh, I wish I'd focused on art a lot more because I miss drawing and I miss painting, and now all I do is play basketball. I'd really like to draw and paint shit instead of playing basketball. Who knows? Who bloody knows? You know, it's impossible to tell. But it's one of those things that, like, if I could just go back, just to find out, just have a go, just see if there was a chance I could have done. And now I'm way past it now. I mean, obviously, never say never. I could start practicing, find a local park, a hoop. Get some exercise, get into shape. See if I've still got it or if I can get it back in terms of like skill and stuff. and then see if there is like a local team that does tryouts and whatever. So there's obviously, you know, never say never. There's always a possibility shit can happen. Just because you're older doesn't mean shit can't happen. But at the same time, realistically, athletes in their 30s plus, that's usually once they've had their heyday. And when they're 30 plus, it's like, yeah, you're done. If you were successful, cool, now take your winnings and move on. And this is all based on like no actual information. This is just me fucking talking. I don't know. Who knows? Who bloody knows? It would just be nice to... What if I could have been a really good basketball player? And I have been thinking recently, even outside of these thoughts, I have been thinking recently it would be cool to find somewhere local I can play. Because I don't even know if there's like an outdoor hoop anywhere, just in a park or something. I don't really go anywhere or do anything ever, so that's on me. That's completely like... Well, fucking look at you and Google it. You can Google that shit. Local fucking basketball hoops. Whatever. I saw someone the other day, just some guy dribbling in a basketball down the road, and I almost wanted to stop him and be like, "Oh, hey, sorry to disturb you, but do you know, are there any like local hoops around where I could play?" I'd pretend I'm new to the area or something. I don't know. But you know, talking to people and shit. Ugh, can't do it. Can't be doing that shit. Because that could be good just in general, could be a bit of fun, probably be good for my mental health and my physical health to, you know, go and just fucking toss a ball around for a bit. Oh, look, that was quick, going from the painting of Pigsy. No, going from the drawing of the Pigsy to the painting. You got there quick, Ewan. Wow. The magic of video and editing and all that shit. Also, it is a separate piece. I'm breaking those illusions, smashing them apart. Because I like the drawing. I want to keep the drawing. I knew that would come out quite cool because it's, you know, nothing outstanding, but it's pretty cool. But then I want to have a nice painting of it as well. And what I'm going to do is, you know, I'll get all the chainsaw and stuff painted in, and then I'll mask off probably the upper half with tracing paper or whatever, and then use some black spray paint to like make the legs fade into the background a bit, and then a bit of black spray paint, and this will all be black spray paint around the edges, so it looks less like a fucking sticker and like it's actually in the background rather than just slapped on there. I'll make it good. I want to make this a good painting. There's still plenty of room to fuck it up, but I'd like to at least try and make it a good one. Because we like Pigsy. I've got no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I should be using a bigger brush for the main bulk of the body. I may have some me learning to play the keyboard videos coming soon. I've been learning a few little tunes. But I'm regardless of learning tunes, I've been trying to learn how to play. Like there's chords and stuff and whatever, but just how to move my hands, because it's a whole new fucking skill set. Which I can't remember. I may have spoken about before, but like there's the moment where something clicks with any sort of skill. With drawings, if you're learning to draw a certain thing, you try, and you sort of like you know how to draw it, you know the shapes to make and whatever, and you try and it comes out all right, and you sort of just about go, okay, I think I can draw this now. But then some days, or sometimes eventually, it just literally, well, not literally, but it feels like something actually clicks in your head where you just suddenly get it. There's no, like, it's a moment of realization of like, shit, fuck, yes, I get it completely. Like, yes, if I put the highlight here and just a straight line of shadow here and blend the highlight here, that creates the depth and everything. That's exactly, okay, cool, I fucking got it, yes. And there's that in everything, in drawing, just in general. I remember getting that in graffiti, I remember getting that in skateboarding, in basketball as well, where there is a moment where you just fucking get it. It clicks, you understand it, and you can then start progressing a lot faster once you have that click. And so that's what I need to get to in playing the piano. I can't move my fingers quick enough, my hands quick enough. I'm struggling to find the chords without looking at like I wrote the letters above the keys, so I know which keys, what chord, and whatever. And I'm struggling to find the right keys without looking at the letters, and that's an important part of learning to play. But I guess it's what they say about the whole 10,000 hours thing. If that's what it is, you've got to put in all those hours to get yourself used to doing it until it clicks. And then once it clicks, you're fucking on it. And then you start progressing at much greater speeds. And then you can really be on some shit. You can make shit happen then. And it's something I've wanted to do music for a long time. Another one of those things, you know. I never practiced music because it's like I just never got it, I guess. But it's always something I wanted to try doing, but I was put off because I was almost scared of just being bad at it, of the whole learning curve and just trying to play but having it not click. And just being sat there at a keyboard feeling dumb as hell because I can't fucking play. But I'm trying, and I am learning. I'm learning a couple of little tunes I've been learning. A song from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. There's a Bo Burnham little ditty I've been getting to grips with. An Earl Sweatshirt song. And they're all very, very simple. And if you saw someone playing them, you probably wouldn't be amazed by it. You'd be like, oh, okay, that doesn't look complicated. I could probably do that fucking easy. What the fuck? But for someone who has really never played music before, it's quite tricky. And like just when I think I've got it, if I start getting like the chorus or whatever, I'm like, cool, I can play it. I can just about play it. And then when it's time to move on to the verse, I'm like, oh fuck. And I start having to look for keys and move my hands gradually. So it's a learning curve, isn't it? That's literally with anything in the world ever. Because I never had that with drawing. There was never a learning curve with drawing because I just did it. There wasn't ever a time I didn't draw, so there was never any kind of learning to draw, which I see some people do where they're like, oh, I'm going to start learning to draw, and I watch it happen. See it quite a bit on Instagram these days, which is really, really cool to see. But it's a weird thing to see because for me, I can't relate directly to it, which is strange because you'd think, well, it's drawing. Of course, ewan knows learning to draw, but I really don't because I never really learned to draw. I mean, I guess I learned to paint in a way, but it was more just an extension of what I was already doing, so it didn't really feel like I was learning something new. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Oh, it's Pigsy. Let's just fucking enjoy some Pigsy. I don't know if Pigsy's the sort of thing you should really be enjoying. Should be a bit of tummy in there. Yeah. Not entirely sure what's going on here, but we'll figure it out. We'll get there. I think I want to at least get these bandages done because it looks like he's just missing chunks of his arm. So let's do that at least. Where are we at time-wise? Ooh, getting on a bit. Get these bandages done and then we'll call it a day maybe, eh? I've given myself an awkward angle for these bandages. Oh, fuck. I guess I'm just painting them all in and then I'll add the lines afterwards. I hadn't planned on doing it that way, but that's just how it's gone. Happy accidents. There you go. Bob Ross. What better art teacher was there? That fucking name. Ross. There you go. Now it doesn't look like his arm's fucking missing a chunk, does it? Do 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 do. That's the Earl Sweatshirt song I'm learning. Huey from the album I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Go Outside. And it is like a piano tune kind of. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Foot and hand on the gates, we was jumping and fuck 'em like quicksand, and my ways was always stuck, and I'm stuck it in, and an ambulance came. The first time, which ain't fast if you Los Angeles raised. My bitch said the split take the soul from me. It's good, man. I dig Earl's Sweatshirt. I prefer him to Tyler the Creator. I think he's a much better lyricist. And that's always the most important part of hip-hop for me. The beats and having a good sound is important. I hate fucking like... there's a bunch of sweatshirt beats I don't really rate. But the beat has to be important. I don't like droning, sort of like boom, 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 boom. Or just stuff that sounds too false. I love live instruments. Actual live drums and guitars and stuff with rap is amazing. But the words having really like decent lyrics is muy importante to me for hip hop. And I feel like Earl Sweatshirt is really, really good at that. And I don't have to compare, Earl Sweatshirt to Tyler the Creator. They're both independent. They're very much their own people. But obviously, without Tyler, there really isn't an Earl Sweatshirt. He brought him up. And I guess maybe they don't get compared a lot, but there's certainly, they're part of the same crowd. The Odd Future, Golf Wang, Wolfgang... fucking thing. Clearly I'm fucking talking out my arsehole. I think it's one of those times where it's like, okay, that's enough, Ewan. Shut it down there. You're good. Fucking shut up. But this is coming along nice. So's that. Maybe I'll sell these if you want. I don't know. let's leave with a message. Don't learn to play basketball. Don't give up on your dreams. If you like playing basketball, play basketball and don't give up on it. And also, fucking grow up.